Hi, my name is Dr. Mark B. Hubble, and this is your Monday morning mini message. It is with such a heavy heart that I bring this message because I, as well as almost everybody that I know, has seen the footage that was leaked of the Ahmaud Arbery murder that took place in Brunswick, Georgia a couple months ago. I was so angry and appalled at what I witnessed. And if you have not seen this, I'll briefly summarize what happened. There was a young man, black man, Ahmaud Arbery, who was jogging through a neighborhood. Two men, father and son, heard that there had been burglaries in the neighborhood and that this young black man fit the description of the suspect in these burglaries. So when they had eyes on him, instead of calling the proper authorities, the police, and having them show up and question Ahmaud and possibly arrest him, take him in, allow him to clear his name of these charges through the criminal justice system. No, they thought that it would be better if they took matters in their own hands and made a citizen's arrest. And by doing so, they ran into a serious problem, a problem that I believe they anticipated, based on the fact that they had somebody that they knew, I'm sure that they knew, based on the lack of reaction from the person who was filming, follow Ahmaud while he was jogging until he got to the intersection where the father and son were. When the father and son had their guns drawn, Ahmaud, not knowing what was going on, was scared, tried to defend himself, and being somebody who was in the military was doing a pretty darn good job of it until he was shot and killed in cold blood. This is what I witnessed. This is what I saw. I really didn't see two sides to this story or something that happened that maybe I didn't know or didn't see. All I saw was a young man jogging, being approached by two white men in a pickup truck who had guns drawn on him, and he went into fight or flight mode at that particular moment. That's what I saw. I also know the hearts of these men who try to make the citizen's arrest, and 25 character witnesses can come forward and say how great these men were. But I know that in a situation like that, two men who are well trained in firearms going to make a citizen's arrest are almost hoping something goes down to where they get to discharge their firearms and say it was justified. And that's exactly what they did. They had the guy behind filming to prove that it was a justifiable homicide in case they had to answer for it one day. That's pre-planned, that's premeditated, and that is, with respect to the law, first-degree murder. And anybody can cut it any way they want to cut it, but that's what I witnessed on that tape. I apologize for linking this message, but this is something that I have to get out there. I wanted these men to die, just like Ahmaud Arbery died. That's the initial reaction that I had. I wanted to repay evil with evil. But that's not what the Bible wants us to do. In the book of Romans chapter 12, verse 21, it says, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." What good can come out of this situation, you might ask? Well, a lot better than if we took matters in our own hands, like these two guys did, and create even more problems for ourselves and for the society that we live in. I have to bite my tongue. I have to be patient. I have to let the process play out. I have to let the criminal justice system do their job and prosecute these men, try them, convict them of murder, and watch them go to prison and spend the rest of their lives in a cell. I also believe that the person who filmed this should be held accountable in some way too, and should also face criminal charges for what they did and the lack of what they did in that situation. They are an accomplice as well. They could have talked these men out of what they were doing. They could have said, no, let's just call the police, but they didn't. So I consider them an accomplice. So think about this as you go about your week. When you are frustrated, when you are angry with things that go on in this world, is it better to take matters into your own hands and create more problems and more violence and more evil? Or is it better to pray about it, pray for the people involved, pray for the family of the victim, and do our part to raise awareness that we don't want to live in a society that allows this. Okay? We can march, we can run, we can protest, we can do everything that we can do, but let's do it in a peaceful way so that we don't fall into the same trap that those two men did and try to take matters into their own hands. Thank you for sharing this time with me. My hearts and prayers go out to the Arberry family. Take care and God bless.